Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
There's one west. There's one west. There's one west. There's one.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
There's one west. There's one west. There's one.
According to God, the white man is the devil.
See, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above, but they really isn't have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that bygone be. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to prop. It's about to get serious. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, where the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. He cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I tell you once, won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed he up for parole. Because of the COVID, it feel like the host in this world that don't go together. Know it's golden to get them. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settled. Yeah, see the prophets. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the prophets. You know, like we all come together. Cause you know, they say God so loved the world. God so loved the world, and know boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the prophets. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, y'all, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the prophets. But step, I'm solid for show. To the fake niggas, stay silent, I got it, let's go. Let's go. I ain't taking no loss, ain't no talking when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just play with your own. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell them we can't keep it slate. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high, got your baby pass through the fire. Ask you the prophets, that baby so belong to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Devil will fail, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Push your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop and ask you the prophets.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga.
Won't you, boy? You know what time it is, nigga. Better watch how you step in. Yeah. But that was my niggas. Yeah. I'm in it, yo. Got my nigga Rewan with me. But that was my niggas, it'll be an honor. You know what I'm saying? Under commanding general. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home, that's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown, I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga the shit, yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we UPK, Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm reppin'. And my niggas solid, number real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start steppin'. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For why take your life or let you take mine? That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, and shit got me feeling plain. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complex. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
Hey, shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahushua Brakatham. Yahweh Shema Thumb by Shem Yahushua. Preaching off Psalm 1 by Tuesday night brotherhood class. ISUPK under Commander Johanna since 1969. We've been teaching the truth. The Black Hispanic Native Indians is the chosen people of God. Our oppressors is the devil the Bible speaks of. And tonight's class, what we're going to go over is how blame is easier than personal responsibility. You know, when you got something going on in your life, it's easier, to brush it off as somebody else's fault instead of looking deeper inside of how this even was able to occur in the first place. And the term for that is always used as accountability. Being held accountable for the decisions you made that led up to this, situation that you're in. Because a lot of people fall victim of that for sure, because it's just easier to just blame somebody else for whatever happened. And of course, when we use the term accountability, it's largely associated with women, but this class tonight is not like a bashing of women in terms of accountability. It's people, period, just like the so-called white man. The white man will never want to be held accountable for what's going on with Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The situation that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is in right now, the so-called white man said it's our fault. He don't believe slavery, Jim Crow, redlining, eminent domain, taxes, interest. He don't believe none of that stuff has anything to do with why Black people are suffering. He think it's just simply our fault. We just won't pick ourselves up and choose to, be at the bottom. And that's just not true. Because it's easier, to just blame somebody else. So if I could, I'm gonna just play this video real quick. Now this video, like videos of dash cam footage released in a fatal crash involving LMPD officer responding without headlights. This happened April 3rd, 2025. April 3rd, 2025, a police officer, who of course is a white woman. That's double trouble. White and a woman is just double trouble. when in terms of, justice. So you got the dash cam footage. They finally released it. And they said that I want y'all to look at this video and you tell me if you think that this white woman, police officer, let's just call it what it is. She's a police officer. Instead of just saying she a white woman, she's a police officer. They bleed blue. And I just want everybody to tell me, if you're watching this video, do you believe she should have got off freely? Or do you believe this is justified to not be charged? And we'll take a look at it real quick.
Don't upload your videos to YouTube. Upload to Restream, where we will live stream it to you.
Newly released dashcam video shows the violent car wreck involving an LMPD officer that left another driver dead. WDRB's Chris Suter walks us through that footage released today and the moments leading up to the crash.
LMPD confirms an officer did not have her lights and siren on when she was involved in the wreck on Fern Valley Road. Now to the video. That does not include audio. This was April 2nd, the night of the tornado outbreak in the area. You can see Officer Alyssa Beagle's LMPD cruiser headed to I-65 to help EMS. She gets through.
They say her name was Alyssa Beagle. Never known a black woman with neither one of those names. I'm just keeping it real with you. Her last name is Beagle. So I'm just letting y'all know this is a white lady. She's speeding without her police lights on, which is illegal, because how is somebody supposed to know if you a cop or not? Or they should stop and pull over.
Green light, and then you see a dark colored car quickly approaching right here before impact. 61-year-old Charles Briscoe died in that accident. LMPD did not talk about why Officer
Charles Briscoe, 61 years old, he dead and gone because of this cop did not follow the procedure. So if the cop is not at fault, who's at fault? You just got to keep it real. At this point, we can't keep hiding the facts. If the cop is not at fault for driving without her police lights on, and she got into an accident, which is what the police lights is for, and she killed somebody, who's at fault? Mr. Briscoe. The driver that she hit has to be the one that's at fault. But he died, so there's no charges. But if he lived, this would be a fiasco. Because I would want to know what they would be able to charge Mr. Briscoe with for getting hit by a cop that did not have their lights on.
Beagle's lights and siren were off, or about a potential violation of policy. Brandon Branson watched as the crash happened.
I seen that it said the officer was on their way to an emergency call, and I just noticed that the officer never had on any emergency lights. And they were traveling. When I say a high rate of speed, I mean a very high rate of speed. I checked my speed at 50 when they passed me, and they passed me like I was sitting still.
Right. Look, the brother, he telling the truth. He willing to risk getting a ticket, because you ain't supposed to be going 50 miles an hour on that street, not on Fern Valley. You feel me? But he told the truth. He was doing 50 miles an hour, and the cop had to be doing way more than him with no lights on, and killed this man. Killed this man, and they don't want to be held accountable. The police don't want to be held accountable for this action. So if it's not the police fault, then it gotta be the driver's fault that they hit.
I know if that was anybody else, me, you, anybody else, we'd probably be sitting in jail for vehicular homicide right now.
Right. And what he said was true. If that would have been any of us, we would have been in jail for murder. Vehicular homicide.
We're told dispatch had asked officers to slow their response to I-65 because other officers were already there. Officer Beagle.
And the police put out a warning saying to everybody, slow down, because there's already enough police officers there, so everybody needs to slow down. She didn't want to slow down. I wonder what she was in such a rush to do. Maybe kill a black person. I don't know. Maybe kill a Hispanic. It is a lot of Hispanics down here. ICE has been all through Louisville trying to catch them. Maybe. Who knows?
Was on paid administrative leave. She was disciplined before.
Paid administrative leave. That's what they get a white lady. Just like they gave the black people, the white cops that killed Breonna Taylor. You know, gave them 18 months. They gave her paid administrative leave rather than just taking the blame that this woman just committed murder. That's what it is. They gave her paid administrative leave. I bet you her license ain't suspended or nothing either. You feel me? Because I'm telling you, America they'd never take the blame for the terror that they causing on Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. They will never do it. It'll never happen. It's going to take the Most High Christ.
For being at fault in an October 2023 crash. Chris Suter.
And they say she was at fault for a crash in October 2023. This woman is an habitual criminal. This woman that has on a police uniform is an habitual offender. She has committed multiple traffic violations that's supposed to warn her supervisor that she is a danger to the community more than a help. And now you got a man dead because of her, because she forgot to press the goddamn button. Well, I can't wait for Trump to push the goddamn button so this damn shit can come to an end. Because it's time for these people to stop ruling over us. Because they not qualified or equipped. God damn it. But we'll drop that. And we'll go ahead and get into the Bible. Real talk. We'll start off in so we're gonna go in Romans 11 and 14. No, 14 and 11. Like, yeah, that was just stupid though. They gave her paid administrative leave for killing somebody. I just can't wait to see can't wait to see the obituary of the guy she hit. I guarantee you he was Black or Hispanic. So we're going to start at Romans 14 and 11. And it say, for it is written, as I live, saith the Lord, every knee shall bow to me, and every tongue shall confess to God. And this is true. You know, everybody is going to have to present themselves. You know, Andrew Jackson said, for what they did to the Native Indians, he hopes it's a just God. That's all he said. The same way she hit this man and they just gave her administrative leave, that's what the white man do. They commit acts of terror and just pray God forgive them. That's Christianity. That's Christianity 101. To do something evil and just hope God, turn the other cheek. But that ain't what the Bible said. The Bible said everybody, you feel me, is going to have to bow and confess to God about what they did while they was on this planet. Like real talk. So then every one of us shall give an account of himself to God. And that's a fact. That's why I say everybody going to have to present themselves. All the stuff you doing on the low, all the stuff you hiding and hoping ain't nobody see, all of the sins you might be committing and stuff like that you think ain't a big deal, all that stuff. You're going to have to account for that. And you're going to have to confess to it, to the Most High. So we live a life in America where you don't have to be accountable, especially if you can just blame it on somebody else. Especially if you can find a reason to blame it on somebody else, you don't have to be accountable. Not in America. In America, the truth means nothing. A lie is better than the truth in America, especially if you got money, or if you're a police officer, or if you're in the army. If you do anything to help this country rule over somebody else, then you get to prosper. Your lie is better than the truth. But not according to the Most High. According to the Most High, everybody gonna have to give an account for themselves. Not for your wife, not for your kids, not for your co-workers, not for the white woman you got in your bed. No, for yourself. Everybody is gonna have to report to the Lord one day and give an account for everything they did. Let us not therefore judge one another anymore, but judge this rather, that no man put a stumbling block or an occasion to fall in his brother's way. And that's a fact, because during this time, you had wicked people that thought it was okay to kill somebody for committing a sin against the Lord when you were sinning your damn self. Just like these cops, you locking people up, but you ain't even keeping the law. You putting people in jail for the same stuff you doing. This same lady that killed this man, vehicular homicide, this same lady would pull somebody over for going over the speed limit 5 miles an hour. You doing 50 in a 45, she would have pulled you over and gave you a ticket and showed up in court like you were just the worstest person in the world, when the whole time she's about to kill somebody in the future and don't even have her police lights on. You feel me? We living in a time right now where it's wicked people, just like it was during this time. It's wicked people that feel like they can judge somebody else. And judgment is not telling somebody that they wrong. Judgment is not correcting somebody when they do something that's not right. Judgment is an action. It's an action that's being taken place. And it's people right now that's evil and wicked, but they're judging, they're committing actions against other people. And most of them, they have on police uniforms. You know, they judges and prosecutors that break the law. This does not follow what the Constitution say you should do. But they in a position to enact judgment when they shouldn't, when they should be looking at themselves. You feel me? And that's why the Bible say, let no man put a stumbling block or occasion to fall on his brother's way. And that's a fact. And that's what's happening. What's happening is nothing but traps being put into place to make you fall. You feel me? The so-called white man destroyed our community, took away all the jobs, all the resources during the civil rights movement. That's a stumbling block. Because what's going to happen? Black people is going to start starving. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to turn to a life of crime because they don't have no other way to make no money to feed them kids. They don't have no other way to bring in any type of resources but to commit crime. You feel me? The so-called white man is the stumbling block. He's been the stumbling block since he put us in chains, since he committed genocide against the North American Indians, since he enslaved all the blacks from West Coast of Africa all the way to the damn Caribbean. He's been nothing but a stumbling block. Like real talk. But he gonna have to account for the stuff he done. Esau is the so-called white man, and he is going to have to account for all the stuff he's done. Feel me? Real talk. So we'll drop that. Go to Hebrews 11. Hebrews, I'm gonna keep saying 11. Hebrews 4 and 12. This book of Hebrews 4 and 12. For the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword. Right. And the word of God is sharper than any two-edged sword, because a two-edged sword, it cuts deep. Because what people don't know about a sword is really only sharp on one side. But a two-edged sword will make the cut deeper. And that's the word of God. It cuts you deep. Like you would think you know something and know everything, and the whole time you don't know nothing. I'm just keeping it real with you. You done went to college for 10 years to learn a trade, and that trade got you so locked in you didn't forget about life. And now you getting cut deep on all type of different other things that you was unaware of because you were so locked into your trade. Piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit. Right. So your soul and spirit is gonna cut your soul and your spirit. You feel me? Everything you thought you knew before you start serving God is gonna be getting cut left and right. You feel me? It's gonna be getting cut left and right. And of the joints and marrow, and as a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. And that's a fact. You feel me? The joints in the marrow, that's talking about your bones, how your bones connect to the other bone. You feel me? Everything is going to be getting divided. You feel me? That's what's going to happen. Everything, you're going to be getting cut left and right. You feel me? When it comes down to the word of the Lord. Because it's quick. It's quick. It hits you fast, too. You feel me? The Lord, you feel me? What you got to understand about the scriptures and the breakdowns is they not grievous. You feel me? And they not as complicated as you think. You feel me? And that's what I'm saying. They'll hit you hard. They hit you so hard and quick that you didn't even know where you at no more. Like real talk. And as a discerner of thoughts and intents of the heart, that's a fact. You feel me? The Lord know your true intentions. You feel me? You got a hidden agenda, but the Lord knows your true intentions. And that's why the word hits quick and it's powerful. It's like a two-edged sword, cuts you deep because you had a hidden agenda and the Lord saw right through your agenda. Like real talk. Neither is there any creature that is not manifest in his sight, right? When it comes down to the Most High, you feel me? There's no creature, no nothing that's on the planet that's not made clear to the Lord. Everything is clear to the Lord. He understands everybody reason behind what they doing, and that's the most thing. The most thing, all you got to do is know the reason behind why somebody doing something, and that'll just tell you everything. You know, that'll tell you everything you need to know if you just know the reason, you know, the motive behind why. And it'll be made clear to you why this person did whatever they did, you know. But all things are naked and open unto the eyes of him with whom we have to do, right? And that's what I'm saying. Everybody is naked. Just like Adam and Eve in the garden, where people think Adam and Eve was physically naked, but that's not what that meant. You feel me? It does not mean that they was physically naked. It's just saying that the Lord was seeing through them, you know? The Lord can see their hidden agenda. Can see what they was up to. They was exposed. And everybody is exposed to the Lord. The Lord can see everybody's hidden agenda. You know, and the word of God is going to cut you every time. Seeing then that we have a great high priest that is passed into the heavens, Yahushua, the Son of God, let us hold fast our profession. That's a fact. You feel me? Christ is the high priest. He's our high priest. You feel me? He's the man that we serving right now. Even he's not even here. You feel me? He is who we following. He's not even here. Real talk. Right, and let us hold fast to our profession. That's what I'm saying. We got to hold fast to our profession. We got to stay professional at all times. You feel me? If we call ourselves teachers of the Most High, teachers of God, priests and prophets, we got to make sure we hold fast to our profession. You feel me? Because that's what this is. This is our profession. Our profession is seeing everything for what it is. Seeing everybody's true agenda, what everything is, everybody's really up to. That's our job. Other people's job is to be lawyers, doctors, nurses, mechanics. You know, they real focused on that. They know how to take out an engine and replace it, put it back. Our profession is seeing everybody's agenda. And how do we do it? By using the word of God. Using the word of God to let us know everybody's hidden agenda and what they really up to. For we have not an high priest which cannot be touched with the feelings of infirmities. Right? And infirmities, that's basically like weakness, like a physical, mental weakness. You feel me? We don't have an high priest. We have not an high priest, which is just was talking about Christ. Christ is the high priest, and we don't not have an high priest that cannot be touched with mental and physical weakness. Christ was tempted. Christ was tested. He came like flesh and blood, just like everybody else, and he was perfect. He didn't break no laws or commandments. Because we don't have a high priest they can't be touched with temptation. And that's why it's crazy that we out here steady saying that we can't be perfect. You know, that's the big Christian myth, that we can't be perfect. That's a lie. Being perfect is just keeping the commandments. You can do it. It's not one commandment in the Bible that goes against the laws in America. It's not one. Like, real talk. We just gonna have to be tempted and not fall weak to the temptation. But was in all points tempted, like as we are, yet without sin. That's basically what I was saying. You know, Christ was tempted just like us, and he was without sin. Because that's what being perfect is. That's what following Christ is about. It's about not falling into temptation. But somehow, somewhere, the Christians say that you can break the law. Christ came to do away with the law, and we can sin willfully. And you a goddamn idiot. You a goddamn idiot. Or maybe you just never read this scripture. You feel me? Because they say he was tempted just like we are, yet without sin. What would be the reason of them putting that in the book? Unless it was trying to show us that we can be tempted and still be without sin. Like, real talk. All right, so you could drop that. Let's go to James. We're going to go to James 4:16. New Testament. All right, this James 4:16, and it say, but now ye rejoice in your boasting. All such rejoicing is evil. Now that's a fact. You feel me? Because like I said, it's a bunch of wicked people, and they are proud of their wickedness. You know, they proud of the stuff they doing. It's women proud that they got 5 baby daddies. You know, it's niggas proud because they done did a bid in prison. You know, I know growing up that was like a badge of honor to say you went to jail. Say you went to jail, you did a bid. That was a badge of honor. You feel me? Like, real talk. Like, most of the time when people is boasting, they boasting in evil. All you got to do is just take a look. Step to the side and just look and see what they boasting about. And you will see 9 times out of 10 when somebody is boasting and happy and, you know, bragging, it's more than likely it's some evil. You feel me? It's something evil that they done and they got away with, and they happy to be able to got away with it. That's why they boasting in the first place. Like, real talk. Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin. Right, that's what I'm saying about people that saying the law was done away with. You feel me? People saying the law was done away with. You can sin, you can do whatever you want. That ain't what the Bible say. The Bible don't say that. The Bible say that if you knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin. You feel me? That's a sin. If you know to do good and you still choose not to, you a sinner. You know? Just because you know the law is not enough. You got to keep the law. You feel me? Knowing the law and keeping it is 2 different things. You feel me? You got to live this shit. You can't know to do good and be like, nah, but I'm going to do something else. I know, you know, it say we ain't supposed to eat pork and shrimp and crab, but I'm going to do it anyway because my pastor say the law was done away with. That's a sin. You know it's a sin to celebrate birthdays and holidays, but you do it anyway because you say we're doing it for the kids. You a sinner. You feel me? If you know to do good and do if it not, you are a sinner. Real talk. So yeah, blame is easier than personal responsibility, but you still a sinner. That's all I'm gonna say. You can blame whoever the hell you want, the pastor, the deacon, your mama, your bitch, stupid ass nigga you fucking with. You still a sinner at the end of the day, and you're gonna have to present yourself before the Lord, like real talk, and you're gonna have to explain yourself. I'm not taking no risk like that. That's all I'm gonna say. I live a different type of life. I'm not taking that type of risk. But if you don't fear God, you can do whatever you want. You know? The Bible says, fear God, keep the commandments. That's the whole duty of man. Is to fear God and keep the commandments. If you feel like you got something better to do than fearing God and keeping the commandments, man, go ahead. Good luck. Just don't blame nobody for it when you do it. That's all I'm gonna say. Just don't blame nobody else because you a sinner. Like real talk. All right, yeah, we'll drop that. Let's go to Acts 15 and 19. Wherefore my sentence is that we trouble not them which from among the Gentiles are turned to God. Now, right. Now, Gentiles just mean nations. Now, the Christians, they done messed this all up. They got black people confused as hell. When you see Gentiles, you just assume that's talking about everybody on the planet. Gentile just mean nations. And last time I checked, Israelites is a nation. You know, the tribe of Judah is a nation. Ephraim is a nation. You got to look at context. You know, so this is not talking about white people or Africans or Arabs when they say which from among the Gentiles are turned to God. First of all, the Gentiles that you're thinking about never serve God. They will never not eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. They will never not stop celebrating Christmas and damn whatever the Arabs do. Ramadan, they'll never stop that. This is not talking about them. This is talking about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You feel me? That was living like other nations of people. You feel me? And they got them basically to turn back to God. You feel me? And it's saying while we doing that we not trouble them. You feel me? But that we write unto them that they abstain from pollutions of idols and from fornication and from things strangled and from blood. Right. So they basically just trying to keep it simple. You feel me? Because you got to understand, when you change your life and you becoming a better person, you feel me? You got to start off keeping it simple. Like real talk. You can't rush into all the big stuff. You know, you get a crackhead to stop doing crack. You can't instantly put them in a damn prestigious, you know, college, you know, institution to learn how to be a doctor. You know, you got to weed them off the crack first. You know, weed them off the weed, the drugs, the alcoholism, the whores. You know, and that's what Paul and them is basically saying. When we start getting the Gentiles to turn to God, start off small. You know, start off with simple stuff. Abstain from pollution of idols. Stop following idols. Stop with the Diana, the Egypt, you know, all the Greek gods, the Roman gods. Stop that first. Boom. Stop fornication. Stop having unlawful sex. Find you a woman and have sex with that woman. Lawful sex. You hear me? The women, find you a man and have lawful sex with that man. This is going to start off small because we know y'all been living underneath the Greeks and the Romans for so long that you're wicked and you're nasty and disgusting. You feel me? And from things strangled and from blood. Like real talk. Because a lot of people don't know that you can't eat meat with blood in it. You know, the blood got to come up out of it. Like real talk. So we'll just start off there. And that's with you too. Becoming a changed, you know, person that you was in the world. That's the bare minimum. And that's just the beginning. You feel me? To start off being a good person. You want to be able to hold yourself accountable. That's just the beginning of being a good person. When you start holding yourself accountable, that's the beginning. You feel me? Real talk. For Moses of old time hath in every city them that preached him being read in the synagogue every Sabbath day. Right. And that's what Moses did. Moses had this stuff being taught every, what we would call Saturday, but that's just the Sabbath day, which is the last day of the week. You feel me? Moses had this stuff being taught. So it can change brothers into what the Most High wanted them to be, which is a good person. But you got to start off small. And how you start off first is holding yourself accountable. That's the first thing you got to do. First thing you got to do is becoming a good person, is holding yourself accountable for the mistakes you made that led you to whatever situation you in. Like real talk. We'll drop that. We'll go to the Apocrypha. Ecclesiasticus 19 and 29. Yeah, that's the moral of the story, though. The moral of the story is holding yourself accountable, men and women. Real talk. If you ain't holding yourself accountable, you blaming somebody else for the problem. Real talk. Ain't no way around that. You tell me if I'm lying. I'm just keeping it real. Tell me if I'm lying. The start off of being a good person, being a good mother, a good father, a good friend, good husband, good wife, the first thing you're going to have to learn how to do is hold yourself accountable for the mistakes you made that led you to where you at. Otherwise, you're going to make them same mistakes again. Like real talk. All right, so this is Ecclesiasticus and Apocrypha 19 and 29. A man may be known by his look, and one that have understanding by his countenance when thou meetest him. Right, and that's a fact. Like real talk. A man will be known, and this man and women, by how they look, you know, by how they face change when certain stuff is said or certain stuff happen. That's how you will be able to know. You feel me? And the biggest problem with people that's knowing, they not saying nothing about it. You feel me? People around you and they seeing different things and different stuff about you, and they not correcting it. You know why they not correcting it? Because you got bad friends. You know why nobody's correcting you? Because you got a bunch of people around you that's yes men, or they're using you. That's just that simple. They either yes men or women. You got people around you that's yes men, yes women, or they're using you. So they don't care what you do. They don't care how many mistakes you make. They're using you anyway. So they don't care if you die. They don't care if you drop dead. Because they got out of you what they could. They got out of you everything that they could get up out of you. And that's what I'm saying. The Bible says a man is known by his look. And one to have understanding by his countenance. Like how you look say enough about you. And if ain't nobody saying nothing about you to correct you on it, then you just going to end up being led down a path of destruction. You feel me? Because I'm telling you, not getting checked is everybody's biggest problem. Whether you believe it or not, I don't know. You feel me? Maybe you don't. Maybe the Christianity and the Islam then brainwashed you. Well, you would never accept being told that you a fucking idiot. Maybe you would never accept it. You can clearly be a goddamn fool by the mistakes you made, and somebody tell you, and you don't want to hear it. You don't want nothing to do with it. Well, everything is going to be on you then. Because not getting checked is 90% of the problem in everybody's life. You have nobody to check you. All the women talking about they can't get a good man. That's because all the men ain't got nobody to check them. It's nobody to call the nigga and say, why the fuck you do that? You an idiot. Why would you make that post on Facebook? Take it down. Why would you wear this outside? Take that off. Don't ever wear that again. A lot of men nowadays don't have nobody over them telling them what to do. And now all the women like, damn, where all the good men at? They not getting checked. You can see on their face that they an idiot. They an alcoholic, a drunk, a weed head. But nobody can check them on it. So can't nobody check them on it. Now that's one less man that you can have. And now you just lonely with a box of toys because all the men can't get checked by nobody. Well, in ISUPK, I'm going to just tell you this. Niggas get checked. daily. So you ain't never got to worry about that in ISUPK because we get checked daily. You could do something you ain't thinking you did nothing wrong. You're going to get a whole lecture about it. You're going to get a whole lecture of why you should have never done that or said that. Real talk. All right, verse 30. A man's attire and excessive laughter and gait show what he is. Now, gait is talking about his manner of walking. And that's a fact. The way a nigga walk, the way he dressed, his excessive laughter, it show what he is. You feel me? And people show you who they are. All you got to do is just pay attention to the signs. Most of the time, like I said, it's what they wear. The nigga dressing with skinny jeans on, he probably sweet. He laughing all the time. Every chance he get, he laughing. He ha ha. He probably a fruit. Now, don't get me wrong. I know people like, well, we can't laugh. Nah, you can laugh, but it gets to the point where you can tell the difference between you laughing like a little too much, like a little girl. Like real, like you a little kid or something, like real talk. And gait, which is the way a nigga walk. The way a nigga walk, the way a bitch walk, you would be able to tell this bitch a slut and her booty fake. It's a lot here. That was a little rough, but it's the truth. You feel me? The gait, the way people walk, you better tell, hey, this motherfucker is sweet, he's scared, or whatever. She's a hoe, or she's manly as hell. She got a demon on her that's too manly. It's right there in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. All you gotta do is just pay attention to people, and they'll show you who they are. But the problem is, above everything, nobody over them to check them. You feel me? On this stuff. All this different stuff, these pointers that the priest is giving us to show us what's not right in a person, is nobody to check them on it neither. So they just gonna keep it going. They just gonna keep it going. Like real talk. Blame is easier than personal responsibility. A lot of people don't want to take personal responsibility. And I can understand, because it hurts to look in the mirror and tell yourself you a goddamn idiot. You know you should have never had sex with that woman. You know the women, you should have never had sex with that man. You knew he was never going to be a father to your kids. Like, you knew the woman was going to put you on child support. Like, at this point, like, it's 2025. You feel me? And we could just look at a person nowadays and tell, like, you is not a person I should be around, I should be dealing with, or if it's somebody that's your friend or family that you should be checking. And that checking is going to save them. Like, real talk. All right, we'll drop that. We go to Exodus 32:1. All right, this Exodus 32:1. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, up, make us gods, which we shall go before us. So Moses was on a mountain talking to the Most High. You feel me? We just got freed out of Egypt. And what you got to understand, getting free after you've been a slave for hundreds of years, it's not as good as you think. You would assume if the white man say, hey, black people, go to Texas and California and you can have it and you build it up. Do you know how many black people will stay in New York, stay in Florida, stay working that job in Chicago and Minnesota and whatever else? You got more people that would rather stay slaves than be free. And that's what was happening now. We was free from slavery, and we told the second in command to make us a god that we can worship since Moses gone. You feel me? Moses gone. He done freed us out of Egypt, but I mean, he gone. So let's go back to Egypt. Let's go back to Pharaoh. For as Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we would not what is become of him, right? That's what I'm saying. They was ready to start worshiping Moses. Simple black people. This is black people. I hope you know it. If you don't know this is black people, then you're crazy. And then they say we crabs in a bucket. This is black people, the children of Israel. They seen Moses was not coming back too soon. They was ready to start back serving other gods, just like that. And Aaron said unto them, break off the golden earrings, which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them unto me. Right. So now they're about to melt down the gold. And it's another scripture for anybody that say we can't wear earrings and, you know, stuff like that. You're an idiot. And you should never teach the Bible because you're a stupid idiot. Because it say right there that our sons and daughters had on earrings. So like that's a sidebar. And all the people break off the golden earrings which were in their ears and brought them unto Aaron. So like, and he received them at their hand and fashioned it with a graving tool after he had made it unto a molten calf. So that's what he done. He made it into a molten calf. You feel me? Because a calf, for some reason, it's always been something that's been worshipped. You feel me? A calf has always been worshipped throughout different generations. It's for different reasons. You know, Egypt, Babylon, a bunch of different captivities we was in, you know, like real talk. And they said, these be thy gods. See, you got the little g because it's not the most high God. It's just a power. It's something that they can worship. O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. You feel me? And that's what happens when you impatient. When you impatient, you feel me? You will give up your future. Esau did it. Esau was impatient. He gave up his birthright. And this was one of the different times, many different times throughout the Bible where black people was impatient. We couldn't wait. And we end up ready to serve another God and forget the God that saved us countless times. We was ready to go back and serve them. Like real talk. Just because we was impatient. Moses was taking too long. A lot of people think Christ taking too long. You know, a lot of people think they damn check is taking too long. A lot of people get impatient. And impatient, you feel me? It breeds unaccountability. You know? Impatience, it breeds unaccountability to where you start doing all kind of stuff, making all type of bad decisions. And guess who it was in your head telling you to do it? It was Satan. You feel me? But you're going to blame somebody else. Just like they blame Moses. They say, Moses taking too long, so let's serve other gods. That's what they said. They just seen the Red Sea split open. They seen the chariots in the sky guiding them to the wilderness out of Egypt. They seen all this happen. They seen the whole army of Egypt die in the Red Sea. But because they was impatient, they was ready to just say, forget about all that stuff we just saw. Let's just go back to Egypt and be slaves. You feel me? Blame is easier than taking personal responsibility. Like real talk. It has been and it always will be easier to just blame somebody for your incompetence. It's always going to be easier to do that. And after this class, you're going to notice it too. You're going to be around people, especially if you hang with people in the world, and you're going to notice they always blaming somebody else. And then when you get in the root of it, you end up start cutting them like a two-edged sword. You end up using the scriptures and start cutting them to where they realize that they was the problem the whole time and they was just blaming it on somebody else. Real talk. All right, so yeah, we can drop that. Let's go to Job, in the Old Testament. And speaking of the book of Job, if I could do a little plug, I did a breakdown on the book of Job, the whole entire book. If you go to ISUPK Kentucky on YouTube, you should be able to find it. Feel me? If anybody ever wanted an extensive breakdown on the book of Job, because we know the book of Job is a fascinating book with a lot of metaphors and a lot of wisdom in it, like real talk. But it's the book of Job, Salaki. Salaki. It's the book of Job 2:9. Then said his wife unto him, dost thou still remain thy integrity? And that's a fact. It's like I said, it's easier to blame somebody than just take responsibility. The woman could have been a stupid bitch. She could have been evil as hell. But she gonna tell Job, do you remain your integrity? Well, it could have been her fault. Why it gotta be him? You feel me? Like I said, it's easy to put the blame off on somebody else. But she told Job to curse God and die. That's what a woman will say. A woman to tell you to curse God and die. And of course, not in that particular way. You know? It's different stuff a woman to do to basically degrade you. You ain't gonna never be nothing. You feel me? You still working at that job. You need to go do something else. You feel me? You ain't gonna never be shit. It's different ways that a woman will degrade you. You feel me? But this woman, she went to the extreme lengths because of Job's suffering. She told him to curse God and die. That's what she said. She basically wanted her husband to die because his suffering was that bad. You feel me? And that's what you gotta understand about some women. They only with you for the good time, not the long time. You know, they only here for a good time, not a long time. Otherwise, why would she tell him to curse God and die? Don't the Christians say to death do us part through good and evil and health and sicknesses and all whatever? I ain't been to too many weddings, but I'm just saying. The Christians say you're supposed to be into death do you part. This bitch told her husband to curse God and die. And your woman is telling you that every day in a bunch of different ways. In a bunch of different ways, your woman is telling you this. All you got to do is look inside of her hidden agenda. And then you start cutting her like a two-edged sword. I'm just keeping it real with you. But you can't keep it real yourself. But you might have to take the blame for that. You chose a wicked bitch. And you just going to have to live with it. Like real talk. All right, so we're gonna go to verse 10. But he said unto her, thou speakest as the foolish woman speaketh. Right. Any woman that tell you to curse God is definitely a foolish woman. You hear me? To tell you to give up on what you believe. Like it. Any woman that tell you to give up on what you believe is a foolish woman. Feel me? She don't have no trust in you. She don't have no faith in you. And where you taking her, she should have never spreaded her damn legs. That's what I'm gonna say. The hell you spreading your legs for? I'm just keeping it real. If you ain't ready to follow the nigga into the pit of darkness, you shouldn't have never opened your legs for the nigga. Like real talk. How you gonna tell the nigga to curse God and die once he starts suffering? Once his business start failing a little bit? You know, he ain't bringing in the type of money that he used to. Bitch, blame yourself. That's what you should do. Because you shouldn't be opening your legs. You shouldn't be having what they say, community box. You got... That's a lie. Man, you lucky I got a little cold. I would have really went off on this class. You hear me? The Lord was definitely with y'all. Because if it wasn't for this cold, I would have went off. But I'm just keeping it real. You feel me? A woman ever try to turn you against the Lord, she's foolish. You feel me? And she better hope the Lord don't destroy her. Like real talk. That's all I'm going to say. She better pray to God, the Most High God, that he don't. You feel me? What shall we receive good at the hand of God and shall not receive evil? And that's what Job trying to tell the stupid ass woman. Job is just trying to explain to this woman, like, it's ups and downs. It's good and bad. We can't take the damn good and then when bad stuff happen and be like, oh, the Lord is not with us. Why not? He was with you when you made 100,000. Now he done took the 100,000. Now he ain't with you. You feel me? Now he ain't on your side no more. Like real talk. What you understand? Everything in life is test. It's test. The Lord is testing you, man. How do you know? By keeping the commandments. Job knew that he wasn't doing nothing wrong, so he knew that this had to be just of the Lord. That's why he said, shall we not receive good and then not receive evil? And in all this did not Job sin with his lips. And they say this specific thing that he's telling his woman, he wasn't sinning when he said this. This wasn't blasphemy. This was some real shit. When he said you're gonna get the good with the bad, that just had go. That was not a sin. He was right by saying that because it's the truth. You feel me? When you serving the Lord, good stuff gonna happen and bad stuff. You just gotta understand, is the bad stuff happening for something I did? Or is it a test? Because a lot of the shit that's happening in your life is something you did. I'm just keeping it real. You know damn well you weren't supposed to deal with that woman. The women know they weren't supposed to deal with that man. You know you weren't never supposed to have been drinking and drunk and driving. You know you ain't supposed to be doing all these drugs. You know all that pork was going to cause cancer. And we could just go into the law to cut you like a two-edged sword to show you that you to blame for that shit. That's your fault. Like real talk. And the only way you'll know the difference between a test and if you at fault is you keeping the law. But that's between you and the Lord. You know, it's between you and the Lord. Y'all handle that. You feel me? I'm just a man. I'm just a man. You feel me? Trying to teach the truth of God to wake people up from the dead before they die for real. That's the book of Proverbs 15 and 32. He that refuseth instruction despiseth his own soul. Right, and that's the point. That's the point of the whole class. You feel me? You getting instructed on ways you're supposed to go and do and how you're supposed to live, and you despise it. I mean, you refuse it, you despise your own soul. You feel me? If you refuse instruction, you despise your own soul. You don't care about your well-being. You don't care about your future. You know, you don't care about your children's future, how they gonna become when they get older because of the type of spouse you chose. You don't care about the decisions you're gonna make, the type of friends you accepted into your life. You feel me? You don't even care if you refuse. And a lot of us got told from our mothers and fathers that the people we was hanging with was not for us. They told us that they ain't really with you. I'm just keeping it real. They using you, you know? And it might not be for nothing, you know, that you got. It could just be for your time. They using you for your time so they can have somebody to be around and talk to. So they not lonely, but they not genuine. You feel me? So if you refuse instruction, you don't really care about yourself. You know, you don't care about your well-being. But he that heareth reproof getteth understanding, right? But if you hear it, you got understanding. You feel me? Somebody ain't trying to instruct you and tell you what's right from wrong. You got common sense. And a lot of people nowadays do not have common sense. You feel me? They listening to respond instead of listening to answer. The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom. And that's a fact. The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom. How do you fear the Lord? Keeping the commandments. The fear of the Lord is keeping the commandments. And that's the start of wisdom. That's how you get instructed to being wise, by fearing the Lord. That's how it happens. And before honor is humility. You feel me? Before you get honor, you gotta be humble. You feel me? Before you get honor, you gotta know that you was a piece of shit and you need to change. You need to give up all the stuff you believe, and you need to submit to the Most High Christ's authority, which is the ISUPK under Command Johanna. So until you realize that the ISUPK under Command Johanna is the authority of the Most High Christ, you will never be instructed to wisdom. You feel me? You will never have true honor until you humble yourself and come up under the authority of the priests and prophets of the Lord. Until then, you're just gonna be another nigga thinking you doing right and making bad decision after bad decision, and then you're gonna blame the other motherfucker. You're gonna blame the stupid bitch that put you on child support. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna blame the stupid hoe that burnt you. When we told you from time and time again that them bitches was hoes, but you ain't want to listen to us. You feel me? Your homie them from high school and got down on you, robbed you, broke in your house. We told you them niggas was fake, but you ain't want to listen. Like real talk. But it is what it is. You gotta humble yourself. You gotta humble yourself and come up under the priests and prophets of the Lord, the sisters, the children. Everybody in the ISUPK and Command Johanna is on a straight, narrow path to success. You feel me? Like real talk. So yeah, we could drop that. Last scripture, we'll go to 2 Samuel 1:11 in the Old Testament. Second Samuel 1:11. Then David took hold on his clothes and rent them. Right. So this is during the time where King Saul, which was the first anointed king of Israel, you feel me? He died. He killed himself. Him, his son, and I think like a couple of his men, they all died. And when David, who was on the run from Saul, who was at war with Saul, because David was announced the new king of Israel, so they wanted to kill him for that. He heard Saul died, and he rent his clothes, which means that was a sign Israelites always done. When we did that, that means we was in mourning. We was sad, you know, just like at a funeral where people were all black because they trying to show that they're in mourning. They're sad, which is crazy because the funerals nowadays, everybody be wearing Burberry and Gucci. Like, ain't nobody sad. Everybody happy as hell. Like, real talk. But that's another topic. And likewise, all the men that were with him, right? And all David's men, they were sad. King Saul was trying to kill King David and his men. And when they found out that King Saul died, they were sad about it, man. You know why they were sad about it? Because they Israelites. Because at the end of the day, they was family. Like real talk. And they mourned and wept and fasted unto evening for Saul and for Jonathan his son and for the people of the Lord and for the house of Israel, because they was fallen by the sword, right? That's what I'm saying. That's the whole point. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to forget about the differences that everybody got, the blame we putting on everybody, because it's easy to blame somebody than take personal responsibility anyway. And with Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, what we got to do is we got to definitely forgive our brothers and our sisters for stuff that was done, because we got a bigger enemy. We got a bigger enemy. If David can forgive Saul, who was trying to kill him, you could definitely forgive another Black, Hispanic, Native Indian that wronged you, that wasn't trying to kill you. You feel me? And maybe you could look inside and take the blame for half of the problem. Maybe you could look inside and just take the blame for half of the issues that you got going on. And maybe you'll realize that you ain't as perfect as you thought you was anyway, and that you need some touching up to do. Like real talk. But that's in this night's class. You feel me? Tune in every Monday, Tuesday. Tune in Wednesday night for the podcast. You feel me? Crowd spend night. You feel me? How about Shimmy? I was shot by the thumb.